enjoy this nice cold start. What's up everybody? Welcome back to another Crown Racing video. This is part 4 of our 351 Windsor rebuild. This video we're going to be taking the engine and transmission and putting them in our 03 Mustang New Edge. Steve is going to help me get the transmission married to the engine. I prefer to do it this way because my transmission, the TKO600, is like a 21 spline input shaft. It's a pain to try and spline everything in the car. So we're going to do it now. Then we're going to throw it in the car, and then from there it's just making that electricity move around, you know, stuff like that. Hook up some wires and fuel, fill it with oil, and crank it and see what happens. Cool. And then you're good. And then when you set your clutch fork, make sure that this bearing is touching the pressure plate with a little bit of pressure. You don't want this to be loose or it can fall out of place. So you put a little bit of pressure, which is why I recommend that you guys buy that firewall adjuster. I've done this like 4 or 5 times. That's never fun. Actually, it's probably one of the harder parts. But we got it done. Yep, TKO600 installed. All right, Mark, so we got the engine in and we got the engine mounts bolted up. What are we doing now?
We're gonna put the transmission mount on. It's all about form. All about form. Oh!
Oh!
I'm holding up okay.
All right, so next step is we'll put the power steering bracket on. Be the same as we did the other side. Toss the bolts in.
Bang, bang.
Skeet, skeet. Now that we have the serpentine belt installed, the next step is going to be installing the radiator. If you guys are wondering what I use for my setup, it's a 94-95 Mustang GT radiator. The reason why is because I like having the pressure cap on the radiator instead of having an expansion tank. That way I only have to run an overflow bottle. And I use the stock mounts that the 03 V6 came with. It's the rubber mount right here, and that's the mount for the overflow. That's the other mount. It's just got a smaller rubber bushing and kind of hammered it around to make it fit. And then for the top to hold the radiator in, I just bent this aluminum, and it picks up and uses the stock bolt holes that are on this front bar that hold the top of the radiator in, and that's how I set this up. So let's throw this in the car. So it's a new day. Got everything set up like we were talking about last time. I'm just starting to set up the ignition. So I ran into a little bit of an issue while I was locking out the vacuum advance on my old MSD distributor. And I had a snap ring that you have to remove. There's like magnets, the rotor itself for the speed sensor, there's magnets, and there's a snap ring right under the magnets. What happened is my snap ring pliers slipped off the snap ring and hit one of the magnets. There's like 8 or 6 of them, I think, and it broke one of the magnets. So which means I basically broke my distributor, my speed sensor. So if you guys remember, I had the red MSD distributor. So since I broke my speed sensor, I was kind of like, well, oops. So what I ended up doing is I bought a brand new MSD dual sync distributor for a Ford 351. Here's the part number. So what's cool about this dual sync distributor is it's designed specifically by Holley to work with the Holley Super Sniper. You just get this a little adapter harness, give it 12 volt, keep 12 volt power on while cranking and running, and then obviously you see the speed sensor, the green and purple. So the cool thing about this dual sync distributor is it's digital. So instead of having any weights or anything like that, we don't have to lock anything out. There's just speed sensors inside of it, and we'll just have to set it when we put it in the motor. The other cool thing is this distributor has crank and speed signals. And instead of the MSD distributor being, I know this is getting long, so I'll try to make this as quick as possible. The MSD distributor did not have a 12 volt key on power. And the reason is because the speed sensor for the old distributor was magnetic. So it just relied on a magnetic field to make this square wave for voltage. So your computer knew what the speed signal is. The issue with that is you have noise. You have like ripple of the voltage. The voltage ripples when it comes up to 5 volts and down. So that can give you inaccurate spark timing. So the nice thing about this is not a magnetic sensor. It's a Hall effect. So all that signal noise will be gone at high RPM, stuff like that. So I don't have to worry about signal noise, inaccurate spark timing, none of that. All good modern technology, a true distributor for EFI, the proper sensor to do the job. So with that said, instead of doing the MSD magnetic distributor install with the Holley Super Sniper, now I'm going to be showing you guys how to install the Holley dual sync distributor with the Holley Super Sniper, along with using a MSD digital 6+ box. So sorry, that was a lot of ranting. We'll get back to it. So we got our distributor set. So the next thing is we're going to put our cap on. We're going to do all of our ignition wires and route them to the right spark plugs for the correct firing order for this camshaft. And then we can burn some gasoline. I can't wait. Besides, I got to connect those 2 white wires, but it's 2 wires. You guys know how to connect 2 wires, so I'll do that too, and then we'll get going. All right, guys, you've seen the teardown. Well, you've seen the engine removal, the teardown, the rebuild, and now you're gonna get to see the first startup. I'm super pumped because I'm not gonna lie, I heard it burn a little bit of gas before we started the camera. So just real quick, for you guys that are following along, you know what the deal is, but this is the 4th configuration 351 that I've had in this Mustang. This time around, we have a new custom grind camshaft from Comp Cams. I told him to put all the spicy pepper party drift stuff in there. He basically took my peak torque at 2,000, 3,000, and he threw my peak torque all the way up at 4,000, in between 4,000 and 5,000. And we got a 7-quart oil pan on this thing with trapdoors. It's a Ford Racing oil pan, trapdoors, 7 quarts, baffling, windage tray, all that good stuff. And on top of that, we're letting the Holley Sniper control the ignition timing this time. So it's truly, finally, full EFI. So let's hear it run.
Let's hear it. Dang. Chop City.
Dude,
Chop City.
You hear that, Cam? Is that what fell off here when I was about to fall off?
Yeah.
Dude, that's what a 111 LSA will do for you. Chop, 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 chop. Let's go. I'm so pumped. It's so rewarding to like tear everything all down, and you're like, man, I gotta put this all back together. That kind of sucks. And then you finally get to this point and you're all done. So let's go. cool.
Dude, it's gonna be a hell of a summer, huh?
Yeah,
we got a lot of drifting to do here soon.
It's gonna be a crazy
It's gonna
summer.
be fun. With that said, you guys know the deal. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.